My depressive state got to the point where I couldn't cope anymore. I couldn't give my children what they needed.
The butterflies were there. To know that I couldn't work from home, you have to be at work, and you feel that you are trapped.
It was brutal, really uncomfortable, and there was sometimes I'd be crying at work because I was just so uncomfortable and stressed with dealing with it.
3 women speaking for all those on low wages in jobs considered low-skilled who struggled to survive the impact of this pandemic.
Yeah.
Single mum Karen Brain's been trying to survive on 80% of her minimum wage. Furloughed from a sales job, she has less than £450 a month to support her daughter and 18-year-old son.
You're not getting the commission every month. It's the difference between putting food on the table and paying for your gas and electric.
In debt and feeling a failure, Karen ended up on medication for depression.
Some people might say you were lucky you got furlough. How would you respond to that?
You're trying to make ends meet, you're being a single mum, you're working, you're paying your rent, you're like doing everything what you're supposed to be doing, and it's still not enough.
There you go, Dad. Sandwich for you.
At home, Rachel Goodwin has become the main carer for her 85-year-old dad. She has to juggle this with going to work in a supermarket as a low-paid key worker.
I've experienced stress that I've never experienced, and that I feel is because of taking on extra responsibilities with caring and helping out more with my dad. I've always been quite happy to walk into my workplace, but the physical act of doing so made me feel quite anxious and worried.
Graduate Kenya Scarlett was plunged into the gig economy. Work as a freelance radio and podcast producer dried up, and the only job she could find was as a courier.
People are just trying to survive, and one of the jobs that's needed at the minute is being a courier.
Despite getting the London living wage, there's no sick pay or holiday pay.
I kind of had a bit of a breakdown, you know. It was really difficult, like recognising that you're putting in all this effort and you're working so hard in all these conditions, and really it's kind of like, for what?
It's been a tough 12 months for everyone, but if you're in a job with low pay, few rights or little recognition, then it's been even more difficult. Juliet Bremner, ITV News.